beef, now they've banned meat, making people wonder whether the Maharashtra government wanted to turn Maharashtra into Banastra. What would be next, and where does one draw the line? Will the government want to ban meat next during Navratra and Ramadan as well?
No mutton, no chicken, no fish. If you're in Mumbai, you won't be able to buy mutton, poultry or fish on 10th, 13th, 17th and 18th of September. Slaughter of animals will also not be allowed. All of this for the Jain ritual of Paryushan. The order was issued by the civic body in charge of outskirts of Mumbai, and the imposition of the temporary ban has been headed by the BJP. The decision has sparked off a war of words. The opposition has lashed out at the Fadnavis government for the religious motivation behind the move and for infringing upon people's personal choice. Under fire for the meat ban, the Maharashtra government has been pushed on the back foot.
राज्य सरकार की भूमिका यह है कि स्थानीय स्वराज्य संस्था के अधिकार में हम हस्तक्षेप नहीं करेंगे.
A similar ban was imposed in Mumbai last year too, but for only 2 days. Sources say this time BJP wanted the ban to be extended to 8 days.
The decision to ban beef across Maharashtra had ran into similar controversies. Parties including BJP's ally Shiv Sena are questioning the rationale behind the ban, while some are calling it appeasement, others are calling it an attempt towards polarization. With Trupti Desai in Thane, Kamlesh Sutar in Mumbai for India Today.
Is the Maharashtra government guilty of killing the cosmopolitan nature of Mumbai? This is being done in the guise of respecting sentiments of our religious communities. During Navratra, will meat be banned again? Where will Banistan stop? I want to go across now to India's best known author Chetan Bhagat. He's joining me on the newsroom, and squaring off against him tonight is Sanju Verma. She's a spokesperson for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Sanju, next Navratra, are you going to tell Chetan and everyone else who's interested in eating meat that earlier we banned meat for 4 days because that time there was a Jain festival. Now it's the Hindu festival. Nobody eats meat during Navratra, and therefore there will be no meat sold in Maharashtra. Where will this stop?
I think, Rahul, let us first get two things clear. Are we debating the legal technical issue here, or are we debating the moral/religious undertone that this whole meat ban has generated, cutting across caste, creed and community lines? First, let me come to the legality of it. Does it have any kind of constitutional validity? Certainly so. Not only under the directive principles of state policy, precisely speaking section 48, which gives respective state legislative authorities.
Sanju, you're answering a question I never asked you. I am asking you right now a specific question. Will you ban meat during Navratra also? You will say this goes against the sentiments of the Hindu majority and therefore you can't eat meat during Navratra.
Rahul, you're asking me to gaze into a crystal ball. I wish I had, clairvoyant foresight. Unfortunately, I don't. So if you ask me about the debate at hand, and I believe the topic of the debate is about the current meat ban. So if you stick to that, I will give you the relevant responses.
But it's the same principle, because the answer is that every community in the spirit of secularism needs to have its sentiments addressed. That's the word coming in from the Maharashtra government. By that logic, Chetan Bhagat, during Navratra there must be no meat at all, because the vast majority of Hindus don't eat meat during Navratra. Do you think the Maharashtra government is guilty of turning Maharashtra into Banistan?
Sentiments are a wonderful thing, and writers like me make a living out of sentiments and writing stories about sentiments, but the complication comes when the state comes involved to impose one's sentiments on the other. The issue, it's not about meat, and it's not even about religion, and it's not about Jain or Navratris. It's about, we are not in a religious republic. We, people need to know, are in a free country which is a secular republic. So therefore, if one person's religious sentiments cannot be imposed on the other like this, whatever the case may be, there is Lent, Christians have Lent, Muslims have Ramadan, there are all these wonderful practices, rituals people follow, not everyone follows them, but one does not have the right to impose it on the other. And this is the bigger issue for me than whether there is meat or whether I have to protect my country and its freedom, because our forefathers have fought very hard for it. And the moment you use the word ban, you can, the Jain community, which I know is a wonderful community, and I've gone to many events of Jains, they've called me as a guest speaker, and I can tell you they're one of the most tolerant, non-imposing kind of community. So I'm kind of surprised that they have even I am not even sure if they are all fully on board with this.
I think you make a very compelling
not
point,
eating meat.
and I want Sanju Verma to respond to that. If the Jains don't want to eat meat, by all means they have the right to. Why should I or Chetan or anybody else who wants to eat meat be denied the right to do so?
Rahul, with no offense to Chetan Bhagat, Kerala has consistently banned midday meal schemes during Ramadan. I've never seen, a hue and cry or a stink being raised on that particular issue. Point number one. Point number two, the Supreme Court and no less than Markande Kaju in 2008 clearly said that temporary banning of beef during the Jain festival of Paryushan is something that is legally upheld. So you have no less than the apex body of this country, the Supreme Court, which has categorically stated that in 2008, giving local municipal bodies the right to legislate and impose such a ban. I wouldn't call it a ban. If you're forbidden from eating meat for 4 days, I would call it a temporary restriction. The problem with us as a country increasingly is that we want freedom without license, we want a carte blanche, and unfortunately, any action that the state takes, it never is as a glass half full. We always want to see it as a glass half empty.
Okay, let Chetan respond to this. You make an important point about
Muslims. No,
Kerala. One second, Sanju, you've made your point. Don't take up a disproportionate amount of time. I'm coming to you next because I want Chetan to respond to what she says about Kerala. That midday meals are banned during Ramadan. Chetan Bhagat, the no national channel, makes that a big deal. Why is it a big deal now?
I think it should be made a big deal. Firstly, I'm not really sure if that is indeed the case in entire of Kerala, because at least on Twitter, the people have given clarification. Some are saying it's there and it's not there. And I can tell you on record, if it is there, that is equally wrong. That is equally wrong to do it. So if you're saying that that is wrong, and if that is wrong, ma'am, then this is also wrong. We are in a free country, in a free society. It's not about meat or Jains or Muslims or Ramadan. We cannot have bans, and it is a ban. And I'm not being selective. No, I'm not standing selectively. If Rahul calls me to discuss I will go as vehemently oppose it, and it is a ban. You cannot say it's a restriction, because if someone is found selling meat, they would be considered criminal. Why is
you from writing on the ban on the midday?
Yeah, I will fight for it. I am lending my voice to it.
I've never seen you comment on that.
Okay, fine. So, okay, I am going to take that. I have never. Yes, I will. So if I am
one at a time, Sanju. 1 second, I moderate this debate. 1 second, Chetan. Sanju, I will moderate this debate, and unlike other channels, we don't like our guests talking at each other. Make precise points and allow the person who's facing off against you to make his point as well. This is not a cockfight. We don't wish that it be. Chetan, complete your argument, and Sanju, you'll have your chance next. Go ahead, Chetan.
Sanju ji, you are right. That is wrong. That in Ramadan, the midday scheme should not be banned, because the Ramadan, this is not a Islamic state. This is not a Muslim country that we have to impose that on people. I agree that is wrong. So if you are yourself, I think, suggesting that that is wrong, then by the same means, what has happened here is also wrong. So are you saying that the Ramadan midday scheme was wrong? If that is wrong, then this is also wrong. And if you're saying this is a tit-for-tat response, that's a classic communal response.
And
that is not...
temporary restriction.
No, but by that logic, Sanju, I must bring you back. I must bring you back to the question. Next, are you going to say during Navratra we will ban meat in Maharashtra? Because the same logic. If you agree the principle of this temporary restriction, then for the 9 days of Navratra,
Rahul,
the Devendra Fadnavis government will say that now meat is banned.
Let me come back to you very pointedly. Rahul, let me come back to you very pointedly. There's such a stink and such a halablu over this meat ban, and prior to that about the beef ban in Maharashtra and the government getting, a lot of flack for it. Let me now put the record straight. For anyone who loves statistics and numbers don't lie, let me tell you that India is amongst the top 5 beef producing countries, the 2nd largest beef exporting country, and the 7th largest beef consuming country in the world. So what are we talking here? Despite a ban, the fact of the matter is we are the 7th largest beef consuming country in the world. And here you and me are discussing this issue, trivializing the larger,
So what's the connection? I don't understand. That just means there are people who want to eat beef, which is why it's an even worse thing for you to deny them the right to do so. Chetan Bhagat wants to interject. 1 second, turn Sanju down. Chetan, please.
Let me substantiate what I said with an example.
1 second, Chetan.
We are not saying lift the ban so that India can maintain its ranking in the beef eating or producing countries in the world. We are saying remove these bans or restrictions or whatever euphemism you want to call them, because this is a free society. You cannot impose your will on others. There is something wrong about it, about imposing one segment's views on the other.
The last book of yours that I read, Chetan.
No, there is nothing personal. We are discussing an issue.
No offense to you. I have tremendous respect for you. No, we are discussing an issue, but let me tell you one thing, because there is always this undertone of the government being very sexist, misogynist, so on and so forth. Chetan Bhagat's last book is called Half Girlfriend. Now, I can take offense to that. Why not half a man? Would that make you less of a man?
I'm sorry, that's completely irrelevant, Sanju. That is completely irrelevant to what we're discussing. You can write a book, you can call it half a man, call it what you want. Sanju, you write a book, you call it what you want. What kind of a personal potshot is this?
We are prone to debate, we are prone to discussion, we are prone to deliberation.
Anyway, I don't want to respond on Chetan's behalf. Okay, just 1 second, turn that fader down. Chetan Bhagat, respond to a potshot and then I want final words. Chetan Bhagat, go ahead.
I don't, ma'am, listen, I have a lot of respect for you too, and let's just keep a mutual respect and let's not get personal in this debate. Freedom is very important, whether they ban meat or whether they ban pencils or whether they ban tomatoes, and tomorrow Jains also don't like onions and root vegetables like potatoes. So if they are going to ask for bans on that out of respect, where does this begin, where does this stop? And if you declare this a Hindu nation, either say this is a Hindu nation or this is a Jain nation, then I'm okay with it. But if you tell me that I'm born in a free country on a secular republic, then I'm going to, as a citizen, I think I should stand up for those values.
Okay, I think you're spot on, Chetan.
Very, very
I have one final question for Sanju Verma. Sanju, hear me. Sanju, hold your fire. Sanju, why don't you hear me? Sanju, you're a guest in my show. Please hear me. You banned beef. Now you've banned meat. What does the Fadnavis government intend to ban next? Nightlife. I'm giving you some options. You can take your pick. You can ban nightlife, you can ban partying, you can ban going to movies,
Rahul,
you can ban people breathing. What is it that you intend to ban next, Sanju?
We can engage in rhetoric. Since you are moderating the debate, that does not necessarily mean that, it's me versus you. Let us discuss the issue at hand. It's not about people or personalities. How many times has your channel, or for that matter anyone in the media, stood up for those people in Thane who have been complaining that every day at 5 AM in the morning, 45 out of 49 mosques in the area which do not have permission from the police blare from the loudspeakers the azan or the call for namaz. And Saeed Khan, one of the most noted activists from Mumbai, he's a Muslim by the way, says that religious respect for the rights of Muslims is fine, but that does not mean you disturb the peace of Hindus at 5 AM in the morning. Have you ever had a debate on your channel on this? Has Chetan Bhagat ever spoken about this? Imposing is bad.
Final words, Chetan. You're clearly making this but I think all of Sanju Verma's arguments, Chetan, really reek of a majoritarian impulse. Your comments, ma'am, reek of a majoritarian impulse and wanting to impose on others. Once again, I don't wish to participate one way or the other in this debate as a debater. I'll let Chetan Bhagat have the final words. Chetan, go ahead, please.
Ma'am, I don't think, firstly, the issue at hand is not a Hindu-Muslim issue at all. A lot of Hindus eat meat too. A lot of Punjabis, Sikhs, a lot of people eat meat. And that, I don't think it's about that. It's about freedom again and again, I keep telling you. And I think, we can fix, for example, for whatever religion, any religious, the noise levels, decibel levels. I mean, I'm open to debate all those things. But the fact that you're bringing that the fact that you're bringing in that and comparing it to the Jains, and I don't know, I mean, you know, is that what a lawmaker, is that what a government should be doing?
Freedom comes with a license.
You know, a government that thinks like this is a government that is thinking dangerously. You cannot say that we are respecting the religious sentiments of a very small majority, and when you make that the precedent, then a ban on meat during Navratra comes next. Anyway, you've heard from Chetan Bhagat, you've heard from Sanju Verma. I will not take sides. We leave it to you to decide whether or not you believe the Maharashtra government has done the right thing. But clearly, we're heading for trouble. Thank you very much, Chetan Bhagat and Sanju Verma, for joining.